Math 2, section 3.7, congruence and overlapping triangles. So we're going to have overlapping triangles. Oftentimes the easiest thing to do is separate these triangles in order to prove that they are congruent. Okay, so essential understanding. This is on page 173 in your book. Can I get somebody to read that out loud? Okay, Holly, thank you.
You can sometimes use the congruent corresponding parts of one pair of congruent triangles to prove another pair of triangles congruent. This often involves overlapping triangles.
Yeah, that next sentence too.
Overlapping triangles may have a common side or angle. You can simplify your work with overlapping triangles by separating and redrawing the triangles.
Okay, so we're going to go down here. And so it says, what is the common side of these triangles? So we're going to go ahead and start by separating them. Do you guys see there's actually multiple triangles, but the one that we're going to do is you're going to look at like your letters as your points of the end of the triangle, okay? So do you see how we have ABD as one of the triangles? So we're going to separate that out, and so we redraw this, and it goes A, B, D. Do you see the other triangle there? So over here it goes A, C, D. Okay, so do you see how you like separate them out of the figure that's put together? So do they have a common side, or what is the common side? AD. So remember when we're doing sides, you would use two letters, so they both have AD. So the common side is AD, or segment AD. Okay, so then it says you have triangle ABD and BAC. It'll be BA, good. But let's go ahead and write those two. And the reason why I wrote those two was because of those two triangles, right? So we're keeping those letters. And so ABD is going to look exactly the same as I already had written it, A, B, D. And then it says BAC. So do you guys see how BAC is like this? Yes, bless you. Okay, and so yes, you were correct that they share the side AB. Is there kind of a shortcut that you notice on these where you wouldn't necessarily always have to take them apart? Very good. If you look at the common letters, so if you see this has A and B and this one also has A and B. Or up at the top, they both had A and D and A and D. So the common letters oftentimes tell you where your common side will be. Questions so far? Okay, we're going to turn over to page 174 now. Okay, so I want you to look at practice problem number 1 there. And on your own, and then check with people in your group, see if you can go ahead and decide. It says in the diagram, the red and the blue triangles are congruent. Identify the common side or angle. So now in your groups, discuss it, if you agree. Okay, so not too bad. DF is correct. They share that common side. Do we need to separate that one? No, but you could, right? All right, number 2. I want you to separate those, and you're going to be drawing, you have triangle JKL, so it's basically telling you what you're pulling apart, and MLK. And then I want you to identify if it has any common sides or angles. So go ahead and do that, and then check your answers in your group. if you have the answers, I can come around and check as well. This one, it isn't this one because everything will change. The end table doesn't. Good. Can you do it Okay, so Madison, this is actually kind of a nice way to do it as well, but she went through and highlighted both the triangles instead of like rewriting them. And then what was the side?
It would be KL.
Good.
I want to write it in highlighter.
Oh, you're fine. You could use one of mine. And so she highlighted the two triangles, which kind of shows you the separation. That might be a great way to do that too on your homework. But KL is the side that they both share. Now, do they share any angles? Like those two triangles, are any of their angles ones that they share? Okay, so do you see like here's where K is? That is not really a shared angle because on the pink one, it's that big, huge triangle, right? And then on the L one, it's like half of K. O isn't really a or isn't an angle though. It's like the part of a straight line, right? JM. Okay, so look here. So see how this one, I'm going to go ahead and separate them here. So we have J, K, L, and then over here we have K, L, M. Now, do the triangles, when they were overlapping, do they have any of the same angles within the two triangles? No, because everything's like, this is half of this one. You know, the K, this angle, this is half of that one. And the J and M are on opposite sides. Yes?
Couldn't you say that angle KOJ and angle LOM? Or is that just not an angle?
No, it's not an angle because it's not part of that triangle. So when you are separating them, we're looking at the triangles separately, okay? And are there congruent angles? Yes, we could probably prove some of that, but there aren't any shared angles or common angles. Does that make sense? Okay, we're gonna move on now down to 3, developing a proof, and this is on page 175. Okay, so if you have a highlighter, you could highlight the different triangles. But it's asking us, or okay, so we have our given information. And the triangles we're looking at, because see, we're trying to prove that PQT. So see how we have PQT. That those angles are congruent, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and write these separately, just so it's a little easier for me to see. And I would suggest in your notes that you go ahead and maybe write these as well. And I still kind of keep them in the same direction as they are, although you don't have to, like when I'm separating them. And I'm obviously not a great drawer, but we all get the point here. Thank you. I give lessons at lunch on how to draw really nice, so come by. Just okay. Okay. A. It says angle T is congruent to angle R. How do we know that? Very good. It is given information. Okay, on B, it says angle TPQ. So TPQ is congruent to angle RPV. Do we know anything about those? They share it. So if they share it, does it have to be the same? Yes. Do you know, so I'm going to put two little angle marks on both of these. Do you know what property that is? If it's the same thing and we're stating it, even though we're not stating the same exact thing twice, but aren't those the same angles? It is reflexive property. Very nicely done. Okay, do you understand why that's reflexive property? Okay, so let me just kind of show you here. So you see this angle right here? That is VPQ. And also it's like right here. It's the TPV and it is also the PVQ or R. So do you see how like both triangles share this angle right here? It's the exact same triangle, or triangle. It's the exact same angle. So this angle is right here, and this angle is also right here. It's the same one. My picture doesn't make it look like it's exactly the same, but can you see that here when before we took the triangles, that it's the same angle at point P for both of the triangles?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it is reflexive property.
So if they share a common point, is it reflexive?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so are we clear on that? So since they both have the exact same angle, that is reflexive when we're stating it in our proof, because it's the same angle, even though we're saying it differently. Explain it in your group. See if you guys can say it better than me.
Hey guys, for the reason, could you put P is congruent to P? Angle P is congruent to P.
Oh, for the statement, you mean? Good. Okay. All right, is anybody still confused? Could you have also, and if you want to on B right here for the statement, we could also kind of put like angle P is congruent to angle P. And you know how like with your angles, it's always the middle part is the angle. The middle part is where it is. Good, yay. Does that make it better? Okay.
I know C.
Okay, what's C?
Yeah.
C is given. Very good. Yeah, so if you go back up here, segment PQ is congruent to PV was given. And did we have that marked? No, so let's mark it. So right here, right? PQ is congruent to PV. So I'm just going to put a single slash mark there. You could also have it up here. Okay. All right. So then D, you get to, and it says triangle TPQ is congruent to triangle RPV. How do we know that?
Side angle side.
It's angle side.
Side angle side.
There's two angles.
Dang it. Angle side?
Yeah, so you would read it as angle side. And if you get out your little post-it
I
notes,
have no idea what that means.
you can see here we have angle side, angle side, 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 hypotenuse leg. Okay?
Okay, but how is it angle side? Like,
So you'll always read it in order. So you have angle, side. There isn't a side angle.
oh.
There's no side angle, so it's angle, side.
I was looking at the top.
Okay, this one also angle, side. So as long as you're going right to left, left to right, and going in order. Okay, and then what is E going to be? So these angles are congruent by how? No.
Oh, CBC.
Yeah. Congruent or corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. CPCTC. Are we okay? What? Oh. Well, maybe he doesn't want you to see him blowing his nose.
It's better than nothing.
They were just saying that there's Kleenexes here and on my desk, but you chose to walk all the way over there.
Oh, I didn't know they were over there.
Okay. All right. Any questions on this? Okay. Page 178 we are moving to now. Wait, no, not 178. Sorry. 175. Page 175. Okay, another proof in your groups right now. We have our statement and our reason. Okay? Everybody should be able to do number 1 on their own. When you get the answer, raise your hand. I want you to separate those. And separate the triangles, and you're going to write the proof.
Oh, no, I think this is mixed. Oh, wait, they're is that their own personal fridge or something? Hey, I want him in my group. Hey, buddy. You can come sit right here.
Okay, do you guys have it?
No, I'm still gonna get it.
Same thing.
Okay, as a hint, there's only 3 steps on this one,
I haven't even got the triangles yet.
including given.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay, talk in your groups, discuss what you see. The first thing you should probably do, though, is separate those triangles. That's going to help you out a lot. I'm going to just separate the 2 triangles to make sure that you separated them.
Wait, is the answer like angles and angle or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. So I thought. I think if not, I'll just keep guessing.
Yeah, so you might want to take out your little proof help. It should help you.
I should be on that too.
Okay, so
I'm too focused.
you got this. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Got it. Perfect. Sure. Holly's gonna come up and show it to us.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn it. Is that okay? Because I have to write like that.
In the morning. Did anyone notice?
I messed up. I messed up.
Can you explain what you were doing?
Can you hold on?
Okay, so Holly's writing it down, and then she will go back and talk through it.
Yeah.
Okay, please be respectful.
Oh, I wrote. I messed up a lot on this. Oops. That's given. And then DA is congruent to DA. I don't like this pen. I thought I did. Is that how you write it? And that's by reflexive. And then triangle QDA is congruent to triangle QAD, and that's a by side angle side. Right? Yeah.
Okay, you want me to talk through it, or you want to talk through it?
I want you to.
Okay, so going back up here, so the first thing I did was separate the triangles. Oops, okay, where are we at? There we go. So once I separated the triangles, we should look at all the information they gave us. So given, QD is congruent to UA. Here is QD, it is congruent to UA. So we have a single hash mark there. So far so good? Then it says angle QDA, which is right here, is congruent to UAD, right here. Okay, so all of this was with number one, the given, right? Okay, now if you notice, do you see how this DA is right here and it's also right here?
Yeah.
That means they are also congruent. They're the exact same line. Okay, and that is by the reflexive property. Just like how in the previous example, how they shared an angle and we said that that was also the reflexive property. Same thing here. And then once we have that, if you look, you have side, angle, side. Side, angle, side, right? So we know that the two triangles are congruent by side, angle, side. Okay, and questions? No? Okay, so lesson check, page 178. We are going to do these together. The first thing I just want you to do is separate those two triangles. Write the side that they share, page 178. So number 7 and number 8. Let's start with number 7. I will take volunteers to come up and separate the triangles and write the side that they share, and you can grab a candy if you do this.
I'll do more.
Okay, wait. Okay, Stacy, you want to do number 8?
I can do 9.
Yeah, and see, it makes it very specific, and they are wanting to like rewrite the triangles. And so see how it's saying DEH, and that's what we're saying, like highlighting sometimes.
Peace.
Which is helpful. So that you can see it. So you can write the
Like instead of using like 4 to 5,
you're gonna write the two triangles. And then you should have the same. Okay, so Stacy did number 7. She separated the two triangles. So part of the homework is to separate the two triangles. And then the second part was to state any sides or angles that they share. And so on number 7, they did share the side JK. Can you see how JK is on both of the triangles? Okay? That means that those sides would be congruent by reflexive property. Okay, so again, that means that JK is congruent to JK by reflexive property. I feel like only Nicholas and I are talking. Okay, but that's okay. All right, did they share any sides? Or angles? Or anything?
No.
Okay, so when you look at the letters, do they have two letters that are exactly the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, D.
In both the triangles. So this one has D-E-H, and this has D-F-G. They don't have two letters, right? They each have a D in common, but they don't have two letters in common. Like how on this one, they each had on number 7, do you see how they both had J and K in common? Okay. This one on number 8, they don't, but they have D in common. If you look at D, is that the same angle on both of the triangles?
Yep.
So that's it. It's angle D. They have angle D in common. So do you see by looking at the letters that can give you a hint as to what they may or may not have in common?
Yeah.
Okay. So we would end up saying that angle D is congruent to angle D by reflexive property. Okay. Good. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this was angle D. Any questions so far? Okay, the next one we're going to do is number 9. Can I turn this page? Yeah? So number 9 is still on page 178. So again, the directions say separate and redraw the overlapping triangles and label the vertices. Okay, what do they mean by label vertices? You write your letters. Your letters are your vertices, okay? So like N, P, Q. Okay, so go ahead and separate those. So all you're doing is redrawing the triangles on here.
And later.
Yeah, just putting the letters. You're labeling by just writing the letters. Okay, do you want to do number 9? All you're doing is redrawing. It will, and putting the letters. Yep. But I am curious on this one. Do they share a common side or a common angle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Side.
I could be
A side,
teacher.
very good. And what side do they share?
And P.
Very good.
So sorry. This is what I see. Well,
That's it. You're good.
that's
You
it?
don't have to write what they share. Okay, same thing on number 10. But I guess we could. We could write that they share NP. Share side NP. Okay, so how are we going to redraw number 10? You can get candy if you want. Okay, you want to do it, Nicholas? Come on up.
I think I can do it.
So all we're doing is on number 10, we're just redrawing the two triangles.
I think I got it.
Okay, looks good.
Get another candy, right?
Yes, and what do they share? Angle or side?
Angle.
Angle, and what angle do they share? Good. Okay, number 11. So it says, in exercise 7, both triangles have vertices J and K. Are angle L and angle K common angles? Why or why not? Okay, does anybody have an idea? Would we say yes, they are common angles, or no, they are not? How many of you have no idea? Okay, so here is angle J and here is angle K. But do you see within that how this could also be J, or this could be J, and this could be K, or this could be K? So the answer is actually no, because there are multiple triangles with those vertices. They are not the same angle. Because you don't know what they're talking about. Okay? So the only time we can say that yes, they are, oops, sorry, I just saw clicking. Would be like on here, where it is very obvious that they both share B and that B is common. Do you guys see that? So on number 10, you can tell that they both share B. They have B, the angle B in common. Where on here, J and K, do you see how there's all these lines going through them and different triangles made from all those? We don't know what they mean when they're saying J and K. All right. Any questions?